I'm vice chairman of the Housing Authority in Maynard.
Oh, wow.
I'm a registrar of voters, past trustee of the Congregational Church. I was the welfare secretary for the Salvation Army for 15 years. I was the chairman of the Fowler School Reuse Committee where the arts people are now. I was the chairman of the Roosevelt School Reuse Committee where the library is.
It's actually where I work now.
Okay. I was the first chairman of the Community Preservation Committee and served on the committee for 10 years up until 2 years ago. I play pool for the American Legion pool team a couple nights a week. I'm a member of the Lodge of Elks, past officer. I'm a member of the Air Gun and Sportsman's Club. Like I said, I'm like horse shit. I've been all over the place. I was married twice, 20 years the first time and 25 the second time. And my first wife came to my second wife's funeral. And
Wow.
she had to fly from Seattle to do that. So apparently I can get along with some people from time to time. I spent 14 years working for the Council on Aging after I retired as a van dispatcher, which was fun.
Oh, nice.
So what else do you need to know?
Yeah. So is being so involved in the community like one of the biggest parts of your life? Is it?
Yes, I've always been extremely involved in activities. I have been, among other things, in Newtown, Connecticut. I was a fundraising chairman for the Boy Scouts in the town of Newtown. I taught Sunday school. I was the advisor to, they had a youth group which was non-denominational. My wife and I were the advisors to that youth group. I was a Little League player agent and a vice president of Little League. I was on the Republican Town Committee, the Young Republican State Organization. Mm-hmm. Among the things that I take as a real good achievement, for the first time in the history of the United States, the Knights of Columbus and the Masons had a brotherhood ball. I was co-chairman in the state of Connecticut.
So what is that, if you could explain that a little bit?
Well, you know what the Knights of Columbus are, and you know what the Masonic Lodges are. One of the guys in the Masons had a son-in-law who was a member of the Knights of Columbus. They decided we would raise money to buy a heart machine for Danbury, Connecticut Hospital. So we had a brotherhood ball. We didn't make enough money the first year, so we had a second year. I moved out of town shortly after that, and it went on for about 10 more years.
Oh, wow.
The first year, I was the co-ticket chairman. I was very involved in politics. I knew the Republican and Democratic chairman of all 8 counties in the state of Connecticut. So I said, we need publicity. So I went to the governor's office, John Dempsey. I'm a Republican, he was a good Democrat. I said, John, we're going to give you free tickets to come to the ball. He said, good, thank you. Tickets were $16 a whack, and you go back in the 70s, that's a hell of a lot of money. I'm on the committee, I got to buy tickets for my wife and I. John Dempsey didn't come. He sent the adjutant general from the National Guard down, and the guy got drunk. We had to have the state police drive him back home to Hartford.
Oh my goodness.
The second year, I was the co-chairman. I went into John Dempsey's office and said, John, I have tickets to the ball. He said, thank you. I said, that'll be $32. He said, why? I said, he didn't come last year. He said, well, I don't know if I can make it. If you can't make it, John, I can understand that. However, you should be aware that this is an election year, and the Republican running against you has already bought his tickets.
Oh.
I said, and you should be aware that this year I've talked to Channel 8 and Channel 3 TV stations, and they're going to cover the event. But if you're too busy to come, that's fine. He said, that's extortion. I said, no, that's raising money for a heart machine.
Did he come?
Yes, he did come. And he didn't get to sit at the head table. That year we invited the Grand Master for the Masonic Lodges, the Grand Master for the Black Masons, known as Prince Hall Affiliates, the State Deputy for the Knights of Columbus, and the President of B'nai B'rith in Connecticut. They got to sit at the head table. The governor got to sit at the table too. So yeah, I could be pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that is definitely something to be proud of.
So
how about your family or growing up?
Okay, I have 4 kids and a stepson. My oldest daughter is 58. She lives in Salem, Mass. My son is 56. He and his wife live in South Chelmsford. My middle daughter, Leslie, lives in Oslo, Norway. She's 50. My youngest daughter is 45. She lives in Brooklyn, New York. My stepson lives in North Reading. His daughter, my granddaughter, is a school teacher, teaches English in North Reading High School.
So she got to be a teacher.
Yeah. Right, she got to be a teacher. So I've always been very family oriented. My first wife was half Hungarian and half Czechoslovakian. My second wife, full-blooded Italian. Her grandparents all came from the same small town, Aguila, in Abruzzi province. And her father, Hugo Mazzelli, always said to me, the finest pasta in the world comes from Abruzzi. And the finest wine in the world comes from Abruzzi. I sold the cheese and wine shops. And I want to tell you, Montepulciano di Abruzzi is not the world's finest wine. The pasta is correct. The 3 best pasta companies in the world all come from Abruzzi, and that's because of the wheat, the semolina wheat. That type wheat, your spaghetti will always be al dente. The wheat kernels are so hard that the wheat just refuses to absorb water, so it stays al dente. I'm a storehouse of information you really didn't need to know. But I finally came across Montepulciano di Abruzzi in a little cheese and wine shop in West Newton. This is 35 years ago. $3.99 a bottle. Does not buy the world's finest wine.
Maybe a hidden gem.
Now, at that time, wine was cheap. You could buy pretty decent wine for $6 a bottle. It was drinkable, but it certainly wasn't among the world's finest wines. So, but the second year I was with Gloria, we had a little picnic with her mother and father, and her aunt was a widow. And her 2 uncles, both families from Pittsburgh, complained that they didn't get invited. So the next year I invited all of their family. And we had roast leg of lamb, which I did on a barbecue grill. And the Italian poured Italian food. Well, then a couple of their cousins were upset they didn't get invited. So then for the next 20 years, on the first Saturday in August, all the Abruzzi Italians met on 279 Great Road, Maynard, and had an Italian picnic. I provided the Italian sausage. Used to get it at Salomone's when they were in business. And after that, I got it from a place in Revere, and they brought food. And it never rained on the first Saturday in August.
Never,
Never.
not once.
It sprinkled once for 10 minutes. My mother-in-law thought I had a deal with God. I just shrugged my shoulders. It became, within the family, so well known that when my wife's cousin decided they were going to have an outdoor wedding for their daughter at the end of, or the beginning of August, they asked if they could borrow the first Saturday in August to have the wedding. They did, and it didn't rain. 10 years ago, a friend of mine turned 90, very, very close friend. And his daughters asked if they could have his birthday was the first Saturday in August, if they could have the first Saturday in August. It didn't rain. 3 years ago, the old timers all died off, so there's no picnic anymore. It finally rained. So